Go for it!
Once you've swum across a patch of open sea in the North Pole, it must be hard to find another challenge to better it. But British endurance swimmer Lewis Gordon Pugh has done just that. This time he's going for altitude, planning a swim more than 17,000 feet up Mount Everest in the freezing waters of a lake on the Khumbu Glacier.
And I know it's going to be extraordinarily difficult. Not only is the water very, very cold, almost at freezing point, but also because I'll be swimming at a very, very high altitude. I think it's going to be very hard. So I've been doing an awful lot of training to prepare for this swim, which I think will be the hardest I've ever done.
So why do it, you ask? Well, take a look at this image of Mount Everest in 1968, showing large glaciers crowning it. By 2007, much of them had thawed. And as world leaders gather for a UN-backed climate summit in Copenhagen, Lewis wants to highlight the impact of global warming on Himalayan glaciers, which provide water to 1.3 billion people.
Well, they won't have a regular supply of water, so in the summer months they won't have that supply. But it's not just China north of the Himalayas, it's India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all of them. 9 of the great big rivers in Asia come from the Himalayas.
The 39-year-old, nicknamed the Polar Bear because of his ability to withstand the cold, will swim in just his Speedos, swimming cap and goggles.
I often get asked, what is it with the Speedo, Lewis? Why on earth do you go swim in such cold water in just a Speedo? Well, I have to be courageous. At the moment, in the negotiations just before Copenhagen, everybody seems to be blaming each other. So the Europeans are blaming the Americans are blaming the Indians and the Chinese and the Africans. They seem to be blaming everybody. Everybody's responsible for climate change except ourselves. And I'm going around the world asking world leaders to make courageous steps, to enact laws to protect us. And those are never popular with the electorate so if I'm asking them to be courageous, I also myself have to be courageous, and that's the reason why I wear a Speedo.
Mr. Pugh expects to spend about 20 minutes in the water. He'll be undertaking this intrepid expedition in April next year.